All right, so let's start off with questions. What topics do you guys want me to go over? You guys can post questions into a chat. So there's an internal chat right here within the Zoom. You guys can just post questions there. For example, what Warhammer army list am I running right now for SoulCal Open? Push method with Firebase. Yeah, sure. So let's just go over the push method using Firebase. Let me share my screen real quick. All right, so the first thing I do is when I go to look up documentation for Firebase push, I just cross-reference that with push, and then I'm just gonna look at documentation. Can't spell documentation right. I'm gonna go to reference. I'm gonna go to web reference. I'm gonna go to database because I just want database stuff. I'm gonna go on reference. The documentation is so stupid for this. And then let's go to push. So push. All right, so we found push. So generates a new child location using a unique key and returns its reference. This is the most common pattern for adding data to a collection of items. So, hi Bella, you little cutie puppy. Okay, so we have every time we take an object and we set it inside of the database using push, it adds that using a unique key hash. So if I wanted to, for example, add something new in, I just use that data and I just say push. Allows me to push anything I want inside of that database at the location. So for example, if I want to use push, when I use push over here with data ref, this data ref actually refers to the location at my root of my application. If using this inside of your application at a certain location, as you guys might be doing, you might want to do it at like, some location. Now what's going to happen is it's going to generate this data set at this specific location. So for example, let's open this up. I'll go into my console, go into my database. Okay. So I'm gonna delete all this data. I'll go here, I'm gonna refresh. I'm just gonna I'm gonna switch this information with my information instead. Let's go back over here, go to project overview. Why isn't it giving me my project overview? Why does it hate me? Go here, go to my project overview. Oh God, did they change this again? I swear to God. How do I get my information? There it is, okay. They changed it again, they keep changing it. All right. So I'm gonna put that information in there, go here, refresh. Okay, so I'm gonna put in Meowth at goldcoins.com, age 12. How'd you hear about us? Pokemon News. Oh, I know what's happening. It's doing child added at the wrong location now, so it's trying to get that information from that specific child. Do this at some location. Some location. Location. Okay. There we go. So now it works. So if you take a look at our database, it actually is going to look like this now. So what I did was I stored information at a custom location. So I created a custom child, and in that location is where all of our information gets pushed into. So if you guys want to start structuring your database in a way that makes it a little bit more separated, then this is how you want to do it, where you essentially just generate a location on the fly. I just call it some location, and it allows me to push to that location specifically. Was that able to answer your question, Angel?
Yeah, so if you do that, and then if you were to like do like a dot update for some location and then set
Yeah.
it to like null, then it would like just clear the entire thing, right?
You could, well, if you want to remove the data, there's actually a method called remove that you can actually remove that based off the information.
Okay, maybe I don't understand remove then, because whenever I tried to use remove, it would just remove like everything.
Yeah, remove will delete the entire thing. Did you want to like, oh, you mean like, yeah, it will remove everything from that specific thing unless you pass it the unique identification. So if we do remove Firebase, let's see if I remember this. Let's see, remove Firebase reference. Oh, this actually went to the right section this time. Where's remove? Yeah, you have to pass it the exact data that you want to remove. So you'd have to have the data coming back. Otherwise, it's going to remove everything at that location. So you have to get that hash key value pair, and you can actually get it. So if you want to retrieve that data, then I mean it's a little bit complicated, but um, the ID is unique, and you have to use this ID to delete it. So let's say I want to delete something, it would be at some location / and then this ID name. So then the trick there is going to be like, oh, then how do I get this ID name? And then that's going to be like, oh, okay, then I have to go to the documentation again.
Okay, that like yeah, that starts to make sense because I think I read the documentation about like generating a key and then like retrieving the value of that key.
Yep. Yeah, so retrieving that value allows you to do anything with it, because then that value, when you generate it, is when you're using push, refers to the object that gets generated as well.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, so next question was something about Mary. It was, where can we find validation logic on input fields? Example, make sure users are entering military time and not a string. Oh, you can just put any kind of, so client-side validation logic is always just going to be something that you can either use a library for, or you can just create on your own. So did you want client-side logic or did you want server-side logic? Client-side, okay. So client-side logic is going to be something as simple as something you can do in like jQuery, which I have on some of these sample. Oh shit! I forgot I made a sample application. So if you guys forgot I did this, hold on. So I actually made an application for you guys to look through. Is this it? No, this isn't it. Never mind. Let me show a basic one. Wait. So here's some really basic validation that I created. This is just using jQuery. I have it at my travel secure application that I made. This is an example application that I use to help students for their future projects. So project 2 and 3, this one uses SQLize with MySQL. The other one uses like MongoDB, and the other one uses React. So let me send this to you guys. So if you go here, you can look at some validation logic. So what this is doing is it'll actually make it so if you didn't type in the right amount of characters, it's going to say username must be at least 6 characters long. And it's going to keep checking until you type in the correct thing. And it's going to show different things if it doesn't run correctly. So if someone's not entering military time correctly, you can have it such that it will show that it's not doing it correctly until they put it in the correct format. If you want to do it in correct format, you might have to use regex. So take a look at how I do email regex. It's going to be a little bit complicated, but it's less complicated than it looks. Regular expressions basically just they're used for search and replace to do pattern matching with. Can you access an API? Sorry, and Danny, did that answer your question? Danny? All right, let's go on to Brian. No, I can't hear you. So Brian, can you access an API just using the client ID for validation without an API key? Client ID. So Brian's question is about APIs in general. Every API is different. Some require API keys, some don't. So that's very specific to the API that you're trying to access. And each API probably works a little bit differently than the other one. So yeah, it's dependent on the API that you're using. Mm-hmm. ¿Otro más? The validation that I just made this custom validation. This is using jQuery, but it's not built in. You can use built-in libraries for validation if you want, though. If you want to use built-in validation libraries, you're probably gonna either use something that's like a zip JavaScript file for client side, or when we get to Node, then you can just use npm packages for that too. But this is custom. This is just something I made up. Yeah. ¿Otro más? Any other questions you guys had? Okay, I guess the TAs are working hard with helping you guys out. Okay, that's good. I'm glad that you guys came prepared with questions. That makes things a lot easier. If you guys want to ask questions, just I guess just ask questions now. Otherwise, I'm just gonna go then. All right. All right. Thanks, everyone. If you guys have any more questions, let me know. All right. See you guys tomorrow and Tuesday then.
Thank you.
Yeah. No worries. Take care, guys. 안녕하세요.
Thanks, Omar.
Yeah.